What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Chuds BBQ. My name is Bradley Robinson, and today I'm gonna show you how I made this. Beautiful, delicious, smoky, tender, crispy, amazing smoked carnitas, and of course, some carnitas tacos. Coming up. This is a pork butt. Pat it dry. And what I got here is a typical looking pork butt, nothing too fancy. Picked this up at my local grocery store. And I definitely didn't need to get one this big. And I probably should have got a boneless one because it would just make life a little bit easier. But all the boneless ones they had there had no fat cap on them, which is just not what I'm after. I want a nice juicy carnitas at the end of the day. So this one is in fact bone in, and I'm gonna go through and chunk it up. This is all gonna be kind of shreddy at the end, so I'm not really too particular about it. Probably just some, decent sized chunks like that. And you could take this fat cap down if you wanted to, but because we're gonna be braising this in kind of confit and lard anyway, I think it's gonna help. Just going around the bone. It's actually pretty good practice if you've never deboned a pork shoulder before, because it's pretty easy, but because again, this is gonna get chunked up and shredded anyway. Good time to get some practice runs in. You could throw this on the smoker whole. You could chunk it up even smaller. You could buy some pork belly. Really, it's up to you. And just like that, nicely chunked up. If you see any giant pieces of fat, like this one, I tried to leave just a little bit of meat on there, so this would kind of render away into the fatty braise at the end. But at this point, typically what you'd see for a traditional carnitas would be hit this with some seasoning, probably just some salt. It would just go right into the pot with all the fat and the aromatics and whatnot. But because this is a barbecue channel and I want to add some smoky flavors to the carnitas at the end of the day, I'm going to go ahead and throw it on the smoker for a little bit, do half of the cook on the smoker, and then finish it in the braise. But first I'm going to get these seasoned up, and you could go on with whatever you like. I'm sure some rubs would be pretty good on this, but I'm going to keep it simple and really focus on the flavors later on when these are cooking down. So for now I'm just going to hit it with some kosher salt just to start building some layers of flavor. We can always adjust this at the end, but just to get things started. Beautiful. Let's fire up the pit. That's the end of that propane. And on the pit we go. Got some charcoal in there. We're gonna rock this probably around 250 degrees. Not really trying to cook this through, just get some good smoke flavor on it. And like all the braises I do where I add some smoked elements to the dish. Because this will be cooking down in fat and liquid and spices later on, the more we cook it now, the less time it'll take in the actual braise. But like I said, this isn't necessarily traditional, but I think it'll add some good flavor, get a little bit of that direct heat flavor, as well as some smokiness. And you can do this on your pellet grill, in a gas grill, whatever you got. Also gonna throw this bone in there. Save that for some pork stock. And to get some extra smoky flavor, I got a piece of post oak here that I'm gonna chunk right into the bottom. That way we get direct heat charcoal flavor as well as some nice smoky oak flavor. So shut this down, let it cook away for the next few hours, and we'll check back in a little bit. Next up, I'm gonna get started on a salsa verde. So right here, I've got a bunch of tomatillos, a couple jalapenos, a big onion, and my plan is to throw these on the chud box next to the pork and kind of get some nice grilled flavor on there, but there's more pork than I anticipated, so let's go fire up the grill. And on the grill we go with our onion, all these cute little tomatillos, and really we're just trying to soften these up a little bit, get some char flavor on them, and add some extra roasty flavor to our salsa. Jalapenos as well. Just looking to get some color here, keep these moving around because I made this fire pretty hot, but as you can see, it's gonna be a really quick process. Smells really good already. Oh yeah, these are looking great. And you don't have to grill off your veg like this. You could make a fresh salsa, but you know me. If I have an excuse to fire up a grill, I'm gonna take it. And just like that, getting the color we want, I'm gonna put these over to the side. Maybe shut the lid down for a little bit just to soften them up now that we got the char we're after. And off they come. Meanwhile, over on the pit, it's been probably 45 minutes, maybe an hour. I'm gonna flip these over, but I'm seeing a lot of smoke coming out of here, getting some good direct heat color on there. And I think these are gonna be really good. Let's get some even cooking. You know the drill, folks. Look at that, it's like a mini pork steak. How cute. This is when I gotta start paying attention though, because a lot of these are going fat cap down. So once that starts rendering, we are officially in grease fire territory. Fresh off the grill, these are all looking great, lovely color on there. And we're just gonna go right into the blender with a few other ingredients, including some garlic. In they go. Beautiful. Also gonna go in with a big healthy pinch of salt, some cilantro stems, or as Dave over there would say, some coriander, the juice of 1 lime. God, right in the eye. A little bit of cumin and some Mexican oregano. Love it. Now we get it all mixed up. Oh, that smells so good. Ooh, that's nice. Need some more salt though. Ooh, that's got a little kick to it, and I'm okay with it. And at this stage, you could call this done, but if you want it to have a little more body and a little more of a velvety feel, you can stream in some oil. So while it's running, I'm gonna go into some avocado oil. Beautiful. Do one final taste and adjust, make it as limey or as salty as you like, and our salsa verde is done. Dave, come taste this.
Yeah,
You think it's good?
Yeah, good. I would like a little bit more heat, maybe some more acidity.
It's got a sweetness to it.
It does.
Which I'm not sure what that's from.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a perfect mild sauce right now, but I'm kind of with you.
Yeah.
That's why I pulled this out. Ground jalapeno.
Oh yeah, perfect.
Sweet. Oops. Oh no. Beautiful. And just like that, our salsa verde is done. Next up, in the same food processor, we're gonna go ahead and get started on our flour tortillas. Starting by going in with some bread flour, some kosher salt, and some baking powder. And get that mixed up really quick. Next up, going in with our Wagyu beef tallow. Boop. And let that get cut in. And lastly, in with some warm water. Let that come together into a nice dough ball and let it knead for a couple of minutes, and our dough will be ready. After a couple of minutes of kneading, we got a beautiful, nice, soft, smooth, supple dough. And I'm gonna break it down into 50-gram dough balls. Watch me nail this, Dave. Are you ready? It's perfect. Live for me. Way off, way off. And as always, once we got our dough balls weighed out, we're gonna take all the seams and tuck them underneath, giving us a nice smooth top, and give it the old table roll. Beautiful. Into the warmer they go. And once all rolled out, I'm gonna pop the top on this and let these rest and let all that gluten relax for the next probably hour. Back out on the Chud box here, it's been probably 2 hours, and these are looking really good. Loving that color on there. Looks like a big pile of mini pork steak burn ends over here. Decent amount of render, but a lot of good smoky flavor on there. I'm smelling a lot of oak from that log, and 100% a lot of that beautiful direct heat. I mean, I kind of want to eat this right now, but I will refrain. So off these come into our intended vessel, which for me is just going to be this little half pan over here. And back inside we go. And now it's time to get our braising liquid made. Starting by going in with a bunch of lard. This is lard that I rendered down probably the last time I broke down a pig. And it seems like a lot of fat because it is a lot of fat. And if you don't want to do that, I suppose you could use like a broth or something, but this is the authentic way. And oftentimes, traditionally, it kind of cooks in its own fat, but adding some extra is just going to kind of confit it, kind of like a beef cheek. And of course, add a lot of really good flavor. Dave, we should make some beef carnitas. I guess that's what barbacoa is. Oh, yeah. Next up, we're going in with some garlic, a couple of bay leaves, the juice of one orange, as well as the whole orange itself, one yellow onion, one cinnamon stick, some cumin seeds, and some more oregano. And you know what? Just because I've got it, we're going on with even more lard. And now I'm gonna put a lid on this and pop it into my toaster oven, probably at about 300, 350 to get everything melted down and get this braise started. And I was gonna put it back on the Chud box, but it was commandeered by Dave. Ooh. What are you cooking today, Dave?
Cooking up a pork chop on the residual coals from the Chud box.
There's no way I could fit a half pan on there with all that on it.
And I'm thinking, just because we got those colossal shrimp from HEB, so I'm thinking some kind of like lemon, butter, parsley, red chili flakes.
That sounds really good. But again, you can throw it back on the grill, you could pop it in the oven like I did right over here, or you could do it in a pot on a burner. That's how it's done traditionally. And just let all that fat melt and kind of start braising and cooking away that pork until it starts to get nice and tender. So we'll check back in on that in probably an hour. So I forgot to turn my microphone on for this next part, but we're checking in after an hour, maybe an hour 20. Everything is melted down, bubbling away, looking very good, smelling incredible. But it's time to go in with a few extra ingredients, including a Mexican Coca-Cola. This is made with real cane sugar, has some really good flavor to it. And this is just gonna add more sweetness and help with the browning a little bit in this braise. We're also going in with some evaporated milk. Again, a little bit of sweetness. And I don't think you necessarily need to put these ingredients in, but it definitely helps with the flavor. And all the carnitas I've ever had are made this way. So now we're just gonna give this a quick little mix and let it go for probably another hour or so at 350 degrees until this meat is incredibly tender and ready to come out. How's it looking, Dave?
Delicious, perfectly tender. It smells incredible. Yeah, real fragrant.
Yeah. Holding together, but still nice and tender. Beautiful. All right, out it comes. And we gotta let that cool down for a while. So I'm gonna bust out these tortillas and we're gonna get our garnishes ready. Garnish number one, I got some red radishes here. Just gonna pop one of these off, snip the tip, And check it on the mandolin. Beautiful. I got these soaking in some water to stay fresh, make sure they don't discolor at all. You could pickle these, but Dave says it smells like butthole when you do that. So, good to go. And they look so pretty. All right, got this chud press fired up, rocking about 350 degrees, and it's about time we pressed out these flour tortillas. Taco squeal. Ooh, a little stickage. Beautiful, getting some nice puffage. Do you think we'll get full puff today, Dave? We're getting pretty close. Ooh. Not gonna brown these too much, just get them set, and then into the tortilla warmer they go. And just like that, big pile of freshly made beef fat flour tortillas. Keep them in the warmer so they stay nice and steamy. The secondary cook. And now it's time to pull some of this meat out that's been resting in here for the last 30 minutes or so. I'm just gonna, oh, falling apart. Just gonna pull some of this out. Got it on a wire rack to drain any excess fat. Oh, God, it smells so good. That one cinnamon stick really is doing a lot of heavy lifting here, but it's not too Christmassy, you know what I mean? Beautiful. And again, this is kind of what we're after here because we're not trying to make like barbacoa or pulled pork or something. It holds its shape, but it's still incredibly tender and well rendered. So at this point, our carnitas are looking absolutely beautiful, and we got some options at this point. We could pull it like pulled pork, we could chop it, we could eat it as is, we could kiss it on the flat top. What do you think we should do?
I think fry it on the chub press.
Yeah.
Yeah, crisp it up.
Get a little extra texture on there.
And it's hot from the tortillas, so.
Yeah. All right, let's chop it up. Oh, dude, that feels so soft. Little chunks of fat. I think the texture on this is perfect because it's pullable, but it's still holding together. But real rough chop on this. Fluff it up a little bit. Ooh, beautiful pile of meat right there.
You might say it looks like little meats.
I don't even know what carnitas means, but we'll have to look it up later.
Yeah, no idea.
Oh, man. Good right off the bat.
Yeah.
I think it could use a little more salt, so I'm gonna go for it. Oops. Yeah, the flavors from that braise are really coming through.
Yeah.
I keep calling it a braise, but
Is it more like confit?
It's like more like a confit. It's carnitas, all right? Sorry if I'm not using the right terminology here, folks, but I mean, while we're here.
Yeah, I do like the fact that it's more chunky than just a pulled pork. It's got more bite. It's going to be perfect in the taco.
Oh, I dropped some on the floor. It's tough without the official taste tester around when I drop things like that. Again, just trying to get some more texture going here. A little extra Maillard, a little extra flavor. The 1792 Foolproof, good choice. That's exactly what we're looking for, folks. Just a little extra texture, a little extra flavor. Love it. Coming off, and now it's time to assemble. To start things off, we got this beautiful tortilla, freshly made. I just toasted it off real quick, and we're just gonna grab some of this meat right here and just pile it in there. And I kind of wish I made smaller tortillas, because this would make for a really great street taco, but you know, we are in Texas. Bigger the better, am I right? Next up, we're gonna go down with a nice drizzle of our salsa verde. Top that with some chopped fresh red onions, a little bit of bite, a little bit of
crunch,
bite. And to make it look pretty, some of these thinly sliced radishes. I mean, come on, doesn't that look nice? Top that with a little cotija cheese. Oh, the cheesiest of snowfalls. And lastly, some cilantro leaves, just to bring that little bit of freshness. And again, just make it look as pretty as possible. And there it is, folks. That is the Chuds BBQ version of a beautiful carnitas taco. Now, I should mention that Dave, Wilson's Barbecue on YouTube, by the way, if you're not subscribed, be sure to check out Dave, best barbecue channel in the UK. But you also just made a carnitas video, right?
I did, yeah.
You made burritos, though.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
And they looked fantastic. And we had a very similar approach here, where we're trying to make some carnitas and add a little bit of smoky flavor. And we differed a little bit. You went with the smoke tube, cold smoke route. I went kind of for the hot and fast, like pre-cook the meat a little bit route. But definitely go check out Dave's video if you want to learn how to make a beautiful looking burrito. Ooh, beautiful. You have a hard time getting cotija.
Yes, every time I come to Texas, I take home like a couple of bags of it from HEB.
That's a good looking taco. Yep. All right, Dave, we've been smelling this for the last like 6 hours, and I think it's finally time we dove in and see how these came out.
Yes, please.
I mean, what more in life do you need than a carnitas taco, am I right? That little flat top at the end made a world of difference.
Yeah.
It has little crunchy bits. The fat that was exposed is now perfectly rendered down. You know, these little bits right here, it's like the crunchy bark of a brisket almost.
Yeah. We've been snacking on this meat for the last couple of hours, and the difference that salsa makes, like when you add that salsa to it, I kind of thought Like, I know what this taco is going to taste like.
Yeah.
That salsa is a different level.
And of course you got the freshly made tortilla. Yeah, worth making for sure.
I'll be honest, that's the best taco I've had in a long, long time. And I can think of maybe one taco better than that, genuinely.
The ones you made on your channel?
Yeah. Honestly.
Really?
Yeah.
I appreciate it. It's interesting because I've always looked at carnitas and I was like, it's kind of like pulled pork.
Yeah.
It's kind of this, it's kind of that. I understand it, but actually going through the process of making it, it's totally different.
Yeah.
It's got different texture, it's got different flavor. And of course, you can do so much with it. We made tacos, you made burritos on your channel.
Yeah.
But like put this on a tostada, put this on your nachos, put this, I mean, I could put this in a breakfast, like mix it with eggs.
Oh, 100%.
It's so good.
Yeah. And the extra smoke is perfect for this. Like, obviously, pork and smoke go perfectly well. Making regular carnitas is fine. It's great when you have regular carnitas, but that added smoke layer is just, yeah, perfect.
It comes through a lot. It
does,
too.
yeah.
There's a lot of that direct heat flavor.
Yeah.
And also that oak that I threw on there. And like you say, it's a welcome addition. Might have to start making this more often. How? Boom.
Yeah. You've done it. That's it. Last video. Done it. You're not going to beat
Quitting?
this. Yeah.
All right, finally, I'm out.
I mean, I know that salsa was just real basic,
Yeah.
but it just cuts through all the richness, good amount of spice. That extra jalapeno was, yeah, good move.
Also, like, to be fair, I showed up at the Chud shop at 3 p.m. today.
Yeah.
It's 10:45 right now.
Yeah, that's not bad going.
You know, and if I wasn't filming, I could have knocked this out in probably a few hours less. So it comes together relatively quickly, especially compared to like a normal pulled pork cook.
Yeah.
Definitely something I'm gonna be making more often.
Yeah. I can't stress enough how important the homemade tortillas are, or how much better the homemade tortillas make this dish, or any taco.
Highly recommend it, folks.
I don't know how you can improve on that. It's tender, got a huge amount of flavor to it, and it's crispy. Yeah.
The cinnamon note, I love.
Yeah.
Because we were smelling it a lot, but it's not really present, but it's there. It's kind of
Yeah.
like birria, where you got those warming
Yeah.
spices that kind of fade into the background, but really add that extra amount of just rich flavor.
Yeah. It's like pulled pork, but on a different level, more complex in flavor. It's perfect.
Well, I think it's time to eat like 15 more tacos.
I'm having another one, for sure.
Coming up! Number 2.
Yes, please. I need this every day.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers.
I love a good Woodford double oak.
Never had it.
Really?
No.
When I first got into the bourbon world, the double oak was the first one that I really gravitated towards.
Yeah.
Very sweet.
It's like caramelly.
Yeah, very caramelly. Also, Dave, thanks for helping me out with the cook today.
No problem.
Especially because he just did it on his channel like, what, 3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
It was convenient because we did very similar cooks. And I'd be like, Dave, did you do this or this? He's like, I did this, but I'd recommend this. So
Yeah.
it really helped out.
Yeah, yeah. Although yours was far better. It was.
No way.
It was. I overcooked mine a little bit.
All right, well, appreciate you being here, buddy.
Thanks for having me.
I'll see you in the backyard. And with this very last bite of adorable little mini carnitas taco, I think it's time for the official taste test. All right, y'all, and that is it. That is how to make some absolutely fantastic smoky barbecue carnitas. I highly recommend giving this one a try. It's a relatively inexpensive and pretty quick and easy thing to make, and it's different from a lot of other things in my barbecue arsenal, and I will definitely be making this again really soon. But all that being said, if you enjoyed this video, let me know by hitting that subscribe button. Let YouTube know by dropping a like on this video. If you give this recipe a try for yourself, be sure to tag me on Instagram at Chuds BBQ. I'd love to see what y'all are cooking. Big shout out to all the Patreon members. Thank you for supporting Team Chud and allowing me to keep making all these videos. And until the next time I see you, please go cook something outside. Peace.